Hi, and thanks for joining me on this week's edition. I'm Carly Gallagher, and the question that I had this week is a fantastic one, so I thank you, Tammy, for writing in. She writes, my family and I were living in a property about 3 months ago, and that she was certain they had a mould problem, and for about the 8 months that they were living there, she was getting blurry vision, strain behind the eyes, feeling exhausted all the time. She had two young sons, and she really wanted some advice on how to clear her body of some of the myxotoxins and start to feel better about herself. It's very, very hard for generalists to be able to understand some of the root causes of our symptoms, and certainly mould toxicity is very specialised, and it looks and sounds like so many different other conditions that it's very difficult to kind of get to the bottom of it. So the long and the short is, yes, there is definitely something that we can do about it, and the first step is really identifying whether there was mould present. So let's talk about some of the symptoms first, and that might help you understand whether this might be something that is causing you some health problems, and it's different for everyone. So these are just a list of some of the symptoms that you may experience with mould or biotoxins. Chronic fatigue, so just really inability to get up. In fact, 1/3 of chronic fatigue has been linked to some type of biotoxin. Fibromyalgia, Lyme disease, lupus. You can get extreme breathing difficulties, so congestive lungs, even down to pneumonia, chronic amount of mucus being produced. So you're very emotional, angry, moody, and that becomes very challenging with the family. You can get tingling hands and feet and almost get like an electric shock feeling. Sensitivity to light, so blurry eyes, sore eyes, loss of vision, tearing eyes, bloodshot eyes. The easiest one is a visual contrast test. Now, that's something that you can do at home on your computer, and it costs probably about $10 or $15. I'll put a link in the show notes below. This really just tests your patterns and numbers on a screen, and this has been developed by probably the pioneer in mould research, Dr. Richie Schumacher. He has a brilliant website called survivingmould.com, and it actually has a list of registered practitioners in your area that might be able to help you. The other test that they run is a series of blood tests, and they look for inflammation and immune markers that are specific to biotoxins. And there's an ERMI, which is an environmental mould test that you can have done at your home. You can actually run that yourself. There's a home test kit, and you take samples around your home and send it into the laboratory, and they can actually grow and culture those strains of fungus or mould or spores that are potentially causing harm for you, and that allows the practitioner that's helping you to identify the best form of treatment. So what can we do really then if all that comes back positive and we've got environmental exposure? Then we really have to work hard to remove that from our house, and there's specialists that can come and do that. If you can't leave that house and remove that mould, then it's going to be a long-term problem for you. So removing it is the first thing. You need to remove it from your lifestyle. And whether it's at home or at work, based on your results, there's certain medications that registered practitioners can use in order to attach to the biotoxins and remove it from your body. The results vary and depends on how much exposure you have. You can get results within 2 weeks, some might be 6 months to 12 months. There are also certain supplements that you can use to help bind to biotoxins that will help you excrete it out of your body. They're called zeolites, and they're a fantastic tool for practitioners to use with those suspected of mould illness, as well as supporting the body to heal. So we have to support the immune system. It's been under attack for a long time, and we need to make sure that we can nurture the immune system. We also need to take care of our adrenal system. So the stress of that has compromised your ability to cope, and so your adrenal glands that sit on top of your kidneys, that are your producers of cortisol and adrenaline, they need to be supported, and we would use adreno-modulating herbs for that. And we will probably also support the liver and the kidneys being two of your main detoxification organs. They have had a huge amount of work put on them. If they aren't up to the task of helping remove some of these biotoxins, then you need to give them a little bit of support as well. So there's so many avenues that you can go down, but the first thing really is identifying it. And so please have a look at the Surviving Mould website attached in the show notes. Take a look through the testing options, find a practitioner near you, and hopefully this gives you a little bit of a route to go down that you might not have investigated before, and help you on your healing journey. I hope this has been really helpful. Thank you, Tammy, for writing in, and please, if you have any health questions, please send me an email to carly@lifeessential.com.au, and I will answer that in the next edition.